It is 12 noon. Welcome back in. This is Three-Man Front on Jocks. A lot of basketball talk, as you can imagine. We also bemoan the fact that the United States lost to Venezuela last night in the World Baseball Classic. Mark DeRosa says he'd love to come back for the 2029 version of Team USA. We will see if that will work out for him. Auburn wins last night in the National Invitational Tournament. 2,169 brave souls attended the game to watch South Alabama go up 36-30 at halftime. Big second half for the Auburn Tigers, 78-67. Keyshawn Murphy is no longer with the team. He has decided to opt out and not participate in the NIT. He did not play last night. So Auburn will now play on Saturday, time to be determined. They're now 18-16 on the season. They will take on the Seattle University. You said they're the Red Hawks. Red Hawks. Okay.
Ah! That's not a hawk sound, probably.
Do it again.
Ah!
Crow?
Yeah, that's more of
That
like
was
a
more
crow.
of a crow.
More of a crow.
Yeah.
Please never do that again.
You startled Molly. Molly was going over her brackets, and all of a sudden you made that noise.
Can you do a hawk sound, Molly?
No.
Okay.
I
think my dolphin is my best.
do the
best
dolphin.
Hang on.
Is it the Tua dolphin?
That's bad. That wasn't good.
No,
enough.
try it again.
No, I got it. Give me a minute.
Like, get away from the microphone. So it's like in the background. It's not like.
I feel like that's a dolphin.
That's a goat.
Yours was a goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was a dolphin.
I do not know what that sounded like.
I don't know either.
Did it sound like an alley cat? What was the
alley cat in heat?
Alley cat in heat.
I don't know what that sounds
I
like.
should have asked him. It was like the cats at the old Oakland A's stadium.
Well, my follow up was going to be, Chris. No, tell us how does that go with an alley cat in heat? Make that sound.
You're going to ask him to make the sound?
Yes.
Okay.
He was such an expert on alley cats and heat.
Well, if you missed that phone call with Chris or the numerous other phone calls that we have taken today, including Don Don's, you can always download the Three-Man Front podcast. Take us along wherever you go. You can also watch us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. We'd appreciate that very much. We'll be live at Twin Peaks tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Molly will be on site with us watching the Nebraska Cornhuskers against the Troy Trojans.
Yay.
That will be worth the price of admission and having lunch. Because if Nebraska is whipping tail, she'll be the most obnoxious fan in there. And if they start losing, she will be like Conrad is on a Saturday when Oklahoma or Vandy beats Alabama.
Don't get down that bad, Molly.
Did I pretty much sum that up
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say so.
the proper way?
Mm-hmm.
Also, spent a good bit of time talking about an article written by Joseph Goodman, columnist at AL.com. I'm going to read you a couple of stanzas of what he had to say in regards to Nate Oates and the Alabama basketball program. If Holloway's drug raid was an isolated incident, then one could argue that Oates deserves the benefit of the doubt. He does not. Basketball players trying to be gangsters on campus, basketball players getting arrested for drug dealer amounts of marijuana. It's time for the University of Alabama to hold its basketball coach accountable. This should be Oates' final NCAA tournament in Tuscaloosa. Oates pointed the finger at Holloway on Monday, telling reporters that Alabama was going to get him the help he needs. Whether Holloway has a drug problem or just legal problems about drugs remains unclear. Oates is the real problem. Under his leadership, the Tuscaloosa cops feel the need to treat Alabama's basketball team like it's some kind of crime syndicate. And Alabama's NIL collective is funding the enterprise. Oates needs to be fired. But we all know Alabama is going to puff, pass. Many of you on the text line, you have chimed in. Many of you have called us. But Molly, we have asked a simple poll question today in regards to the future of Nate Oates.
Yeah, given the media scrutiny surrounding Nate Oates and handling of off-court incidents, does the situation involving Aiden Holloway rise to the level where Oates should be fired? Yes or no? 632 votes, 77.2% saying no.
So it's been going up, which is no surprise.
No, not at all.
I think when it's all said and done, it will be above 80. None of us on this program agree with Joseph Goodman. But if you have an opinion on that or anything else that's going on, Conrad, you had a timetable this morning, I heard on Morning Jocks with you and Damien in regards to what Aiden Holloway's attorneys would like to see happen in the course of the next few days because they would like to get a hearing as soon as possible.
Yeah, so shout out to Nick Kelly. He was on the show earlier in the week, about an hour after the news broke, actually on Monday. And so this is what he was reporting on Twitter yesterday afternoon. So it says Holloway has requested 2 different hearings upcoming. The first one is going to be a hearing from the University of Alabama Office of Student Conduct. Keep in mind they are on spring break right now, so this will likely take place maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week once everybody's back on campus. According to Holloway's attorney, Jason Neff, these typically take place 2 to 3 days after being requested, but because of spring break, it'll get delayed into the early parts of next week. And the subject of that hearing would have to do with Aiden Holloway's suspension from the university. The second hearing that has been requested by Aiden Holloway and his legal team is a preliminary court hearing, and according to his attorney, that would kick off in about a month, give or take, from right now. And Nick added to that the case would start in district court, but will go to a circuit court if Aiden Holloway is indicted by a grand jury.
Yeah, and this doesn't tie back to anything with Alabama basketball. I think now at this point, based on callers that we had, JD, who had served a year and a day at Maxwell, doing federal time for something very similar that could be alleged and what's going on with Aiden Holloway's situation. I think the biggest thing now is for Aiden Holloway, freedom. Because based on what we were told yesterday, Pat, this is a young man who made a mistake. It was a mistake, but might end up having to serve time for that mistake. That's significant.
Very much so. So that was the timeline that Conrad laid out. Let's get back to your text messages. So many of you have been chiming in this morning on that topic and some other things going on in the world of sports. The text line, 205-834-9450.
This one reads, what is a coach supposed to do? Spend the night with every player? Sooner or later, these guys have got to grow up and now face the music. Agree.
Well, I mean, I think, okay, for example,
what did you know? When did you know it, Coach?
And that is a very fair question. I think that can change your perception maybe of the situation or how it's being handled. But going back to what that text said, Aiden Holloway is 21 years old. Like, he's an adult. I know he's a college student. You're 21, you're an adult. You make your own decisions. And unfortunately, he seems to have made a bad decision. A very bad decision. But he's an adult, and he should be held accountable as such, just like any of us would, because we are all adults.
John says, dude's making 6 figures. Some people do it for a living. He didn't have to. Well, according to Aiden Holloway, it was for personal consumption.
And that is what his attorney said in a statement yesterday.
We'll not finish this, but Goodman can eat a bag of... You fill in the blank. Tucker says, based on the logic from the writer on Oates being fired, doesn't that mean Kirby should be fired too? We've had a lot of texts concerning Kirby and the arrest and the citations that... And there was a loss of life under his watch within that program.
And for the record, I'll just say for myself, I don't think Kirby Smart should be fired. I think that it's a situation that he deserves criticism for, but again, I guess I look at a lot of these things as you got a lot of kids making a lot of money making stupid decisions. That kind of thing is going to happen in the world that we live in. It's unfortunate, but you can't keep an eye on these kids all the time.
Ian Westbrook chiming in. He says Nate Oates doesn't deserve to be fired over this. These past incidents seem to be isolated problems as opposed to cultural issues. However, I would say if something else was to happen, again, akin to these past couple of incidents, maybe then let's start talking about the possibility of letting him go. I always like the 3-strike rule, but let's wait and see what happens. Thank you, Ian. I don't know anyone who takes what Joseph Goodman writes serious. Bet Aiden used one of his articles for the rolling paper. Huh. I'm just reading them.
No, you are.
I'm an Auburn fan and hate Nate Oates with a passion. Oates is not getting fired, nor should he be. Holloway should absolutely be dismissed, but Oates isn't getting canned. Goodman is a clickbait journalist, nothing more. Joseph, maybe Goodman? Just says Joseph. Says the 23% DAs in the polls saying yes, he should be fired are jealous Auburn fans. Or Buffalo fans that never wanted him to leave.
I was really hoping that text would say, I actually found that article to be quite enlightening. That would have been funny.
Go back to the dime bag thing. What is that again? Oh, travel size.
Hey, we gave him his flowers, though. The puff puff pass line at the end was
Oh,
clever.
that was good.
That was clever. I'll give him credit for that.
Go back to Keyshawn Murphy. It looked like to me Keyshawn Murphy had already opted out of about 90% of Auburn's games before that anyway. Well said.
So when I was looking, okay, so he's a senior. This is his fourth, because he played 3 years at Mississippi State. Now this is his fourth year. So, like, again, it's still hard for me to figure out, like, would he be done, I guess, at that point? Because he has participated in 4 years of college basketball.
You know, Conrad, I'd love to be able to tell you yes, but
because that was my whole thing with sitting out of the tournament. Like, I understand if you're disappointed that that's what the season ultimately ended with, but do you not, even if you want to go somewhere else, maybe put more tape out there for another opportunity in the future, also not being known as maybe a selfish player to a certain degree?
Way I look at it, he was not there, and Auburn won by double digits.
Fair, yeah.
oh, but it's going to get more difficult now against Seattle University.
I know.
Better be ready for the Red Hawks.
Red Hawks bring.
Yes.
A lot of history with that program.
If 2,100 people showed up last night, and this is going to be a Saturday game, and I saw the weather for this weekend, what do you think the over-under is for the attendance of the Seattle-Auburn basketball game?
We don't know time.
To be determined.
I think now with last night's win.
Momentum starting to build
Yeah.
for the NIT Final Four in Indianapolis?
Yep. 3,300. Maybe.
So whether it's Saturday or Sunday, I know last night they were leaning towards Saturday, but it could be on
I
Sunday.
think Saturday is where they've.
I just assumed the teams that won yesterday
Sunday.
would play on Saturday, and then the teams that played today would play on Sunday. That just seems like the way the schedule should work,
Maybe not.
but I guess not. That just seems like the logical.
Maybe the gym's taken.
Well, I guess logic would also have assumed that Arkansas would not win the SEC tournament and then go where they win and play at the time and date of which they're playing, where Missouri's playing.
Too much talk about Auburn. Let's get back to this Alabama thing. Aiden Holloway. Mark texting into the show and says, those of us who help buy players, so he is saying that he contributes to the collective, the question you asked Conrad originally, Pat. Those of us who help buy players don't want our players to be thug turds. Bad publicity for the program is a no-go. Dang with the opinions of those with no skin in the game. That was directed at you, Conrad. I don't know if it was.
I wholeheartedly agree. In an ideal world, that you absolutely do not want that. My whole point was you don't know what you're getting when you're contributing. You're hoping that they pick the right guys, and they're good guys, and they work hard, and they have a good character, but you don't know what you're going to get.
George Klyakov's burner phone chiming in. Puff, puff, pass? This writer sounds like a peon.
Whew. Thought
That was close.
Yeah, I thought that was going down a different road for a second.
I took it easy there. walking on a rotting deck. Just be careful where you step. It's not puff, puff, pass. It's puff, puff, give. Where did that come from? Is that Friday? That's a Friday reference.
I think it is.
Yeah.
He had a lot of interesting references in his whole entire column.
205-834-9450. Somebody asking if it was a legal state, would it matter? Well, if you read his article, you would see that in Colorado, even the people in Colorado can only buy from a dispensary up to 1 ounce.
Right?
Yep.
1 ounce, yeah.
And how many ounces are in 2 pounds?
That would be 32, right?
Yeah, that'd be 32.
So it would take you over a month of visiting that same dispensary to purchase that amount from the state of Colorado. Glaucoma. It'll get you.
Yeah. You know, your foundation and waterproofing specialist is Deep South Construction Pros. Deep South is family-owned company with real Southern roots. If you're dealing with foundation issues or moisture problems, Deep South Construction Pros, they're the experts. Foundation repair and waterproofing, that's the backbone of what they do, from cracks and wood damage to crawl space moisture and mold. Their trained crews fix the problem at the source. The owners of the proud Alabama locals, and they're up in the Tennessee Valley, but they have offices all over the state of Alabama. They're ready to help you today because in the Deep South, reputation means everything. That's why Deep South Construction Pros put their name on every job. So get started today. Simple. Go to their website, deepsouthconstructionpros.com, deepsouthconstructionpros.com. Your home, their commitment, because if it's your home, it matters to them. That's deepsouthconstructionpros.com.
Some big potential news coming from the NCAA tournament as far as availability for certain players. You need to know this. We'll tell you who it is next on Three Man Front. Availability, you got to have players. We know Aiden Holloway is not going to be available for Alabama. Well, news coming out today from Louisville. The 6-seeded Cardinals will be taking on South Florida, the 11 seed. Michael Brown Jr., Conrad, not available. And that's big news because this was already a tough matchup for the Louisville Cardinals against a South Florida team that Rocco Miller on this show, our resident bracketologist,
Absolutely.
3 to 4 weeks ago, said if there's one mid-major team that could have that run, and he immediately identified it's South Florida.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit in the break because I mentioned Louisville it's one of those things where the hang-up for me was before we found out about the injury was I like the upset pick, but Louisville's one of those teams, if you followed the tournament every year, typically, I forgot, it's like 19 of the last 20 years, something like that. The team that wins the national championship is top 20 or top 25 in offensive and defensive efficiency. And so you expect the 1 seeds, they normally fall into that category. A lot of the 2 seeds, 3 seeds, right? But in this year's tournament, you have those usual suspects plus Louisville, right? So the metrics would tell you that Louisville is, I guess if you were going for a dark horse kind of team, maybe that would be, the case there. But with the injury, I think a lot of people are going to load up on USF, and you brought up what Rocco said and how good that was. I thought, with you bringing that up, though, I wanted to quickly maybe go through some of the injuries to keep an eye on for your brackets.
Yep.
Because I know a lot of people, you can't keep up with what's going on maybe outside the SEC. So obviously we know the Aiden Holloway one for Alabama, not injury related, but he will be out for the tournament for Alabama. Arkansas, Carter Knox, he's questionable to be back. He's been out for a while with a meniscus injury, but he's questionable to return at some point in the tournament if Arkansas can maybe win a couple of games. For BYU, asked Rocco about them last week. Richie Saunders was their besides DeBonsa, their best player. He's been out for the majority of the season, and if you've watched BYU since then, they're a completely different team. So some people might like Texas now that that's who's going to play BYU. For Clemson, Carter Welling, he's out with a torn ACL. He's a big piece there for Clemson. You have Caleb Foster at Duke. We talked about him a lot, but he has a foot injury. He's going to be out, but there is belief that he could return if Duke is able to make a deep run in the tournament. But they might have to play St. John's in the Sweet 16, and that could be a problem if Caleb Foster is out. You also have Ngongba for Duke that he's questionable if he'll be available for the tournament. For Kentucky, Jaden Quaintance, he's questionable for the tournament as well. We know for Michigan, LJ Kaysen, their starting point guard, he's out, but they've been playing fine without him. If you forgot North Carolina, Caleb Wilson, their best player, he's not going to play in the tournament. That's another popular upset pick with VCU there early on in the first round. We talked about BJ Edwards for SMU. He's going to be back for them, so that might be a play you want tonight against Miami, Ohio. Texas Tech, potentially the opponent for Alabama in the round of 32. JT Toppin, their best player, he's going to be out. But they also have 2 other guys, Christian Anderson and Lawan Watts. They're both questionable, expected to be able to go, but they are both banged up a little bit there as well.
3 straight losses for Texas Tech.
There you go. For UConn, you have Silas Demery. He's expected to be questionable for the tournament there for UConn. And then let's see, Villanova, Matt Hodge, torn ACL. He's going to be out as well. And for Wisconsin, Nolan Winter, he is questionable there for the Badgers. So those are some of the big ones, but Texas Tech, their best players out. North Carolina, their best players out. Duke, their starting point guards out right now. So those are just some of the bigger ones that you might want to keep in mind when you're filling out your bracket.
And the 12-5 matchup is one that everybody always circles, but you got to be careful in which particular 12 that you want to go with. Because I do remember a Will Wade-led McNeese team that Pat and I got to see early in the season. They went on a tear. They were playing great basketball, and then what happens? They get on a neutral floor, and it's a tournament, and people got them to go and be that Cinderella.
We were all bought in.
And they looked like they had never picked up a basketball.
We were all bought in.
They could not have played any worse than they did the first 20 minutes of that basketball game.
Well, we'll see. We talked with Rocco a lot throughout the season, right? Of that, the Cinderella stories kind of seem harder to come by now because of the parity and the dominance of the power conferences. So somebody will happen, but getting to a Final Four, Elite Eight is probably going to be a little.
Well,
more difficult
you don't
than
have
it
those
used to
guys
be.
like, wow, where did this guy come from?
Yeah, 'cause they're
Whoa,
playing
he's been
for-
doing this all season. No, at this point, most of those guys they've been gotten.
No, you're absolutely right. But we
Like
talked about
Bucknell,
it.
we laugh about it, but Bucknell, how much better would they have been with Noah Williamson, who was not any good?
He was the best player in their conference. He won the Player of the Year award last year, and now he's, the butt of many of my jokes.
If he's there, they probably win their league, and we're talking about him as a potential Cinderella team.
That's a very real possibility.
Some UFL news. I know this will excite Conrad.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you see?
Oh yeah, halftime show.
That's right. Opening halftime show. Gucci Mane. You excited?
Yeah, Landrum.
Which do you like? Icy, lemonade, wasted? Which one's your favorite?
I have no idea who Gucci Mane is.
What?
I think Wasted's my favorite. Did you
I'm
just go look up his most popular songs?
I'm familiar
No.
with. I'm
I like
familiar
Lemonade.
with Gucci, the brand.
I have
What-
kids.
How's it go?
Okay.
I'm not going to sing it.
You forget I have kids.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I would not have expected your kids to listen to Gucci Mane.
I did in high school.
Yeah, I don't so much anymore.
Yeah.
But back in the
but
day,
in high school, yeah.
So what is Gucci Mane?
He's originally from Bessemer,
Okay.
moved to Atlanta,
All right.
big artist.
Yeah.
Landrum sold now.
Hang on. Let me get into it for a second. Hang on. I get down to this. Yeah. Come on.
Stop. Turn it off. I don't need to see that. Stop. Please
See?
turn it
I
off.
can play along.
You can play along.
No, I don't
That's,
listen to that.
That's one of his better songs.
But I'm glad he's from the state of Alabama and doing well.
He's had more top 10 albums on Billboard's top rap albums chart than any other hip hop artist in history.
Well, to be fair, he probably has released more albums than any other artist in the history of music.
Good thing you stopped me when I did. I had a twerk coming on.
He's an entertainer more than an artist, I would say.
Do you think Don Don will know who he is?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Can he juggle?
I don't know, but he is a cultural icon for people of mine and Molly's generation. He's not my favorite artist, but he has his songs, and
Yeah.
he's more of an icon than anything.
Kind of like Bad News Bunny.
Yes, I don't. Yeah, sure.
He will be your halftime show
Sweet.
for the opening game on April 18th at Protective Stadium.
I would just say this. Having him do the halftime show, whether you liked what you just heard or not, I'm sure a lot of our audience probably didn't. There will be people that go to that game just for that. And I think that is
Agreed.
a great decision by the Stallions to have that, because
No question.
Mm-hmm.
it is a big name artist that people will stop what they're doing, even if they don't care about the Stallions, to go see Gucci Mane. And that is a great idea for them to get people in the door.
There's no doubt about that. We will continue on. More of your text, your phone calls. Hope to catch up with Chris Stewart, the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He has been traveling this morning. If we can't catch up with him today, brought to you by Craneworks, we will check in with him tomorrow or on game day on Friday. We'll see what his schedule looks like. That's next on 3 Man Front. Little Brian Adams on this Wednesday. We got basketball tonight, basketball tomorrow, basketball Friday, basketball Saturday, basketball Sunday. It's that time of year. Hope you'll join us tomorrow at Twin Peaks. You know, right around the corner, we have got the Masters coming up. And I just got my hands on the wonderful Masters Club dinner.
Pitter patter, soft Georgia rain.
It will be served in honor of Mr. Rory McIlroy.
Some haggis.
This will take place on April the 7th.
Yum.
For an appetizer, we will have peach and ricotta flatbread with hot honey.
That sounds pretty nice.
Not a fan of starting off with something sweet, but to each their own.
I love hot honey.
Rock shrimp
Bet you do.
tempura, creamy spicy sauce. That will be part of the appetizer.
I'm into that.
How about some grilled elk sliders?
It's a new one.
Is it accompanied with some kind of aioli?
With onion jam, bacon wrapped dates, goat cheese, almonds.
Again, he loves the sweet stuff.
Are you ready for the first course?
I don't think I am, but go. I'm
I'm not
ready.
sensing Landrum's palate being all about this so far.
I'm already looking on my phone if I'm there going, where can I pick up something after we leave here?
Yellowfin tuna.
Okay. I'd be down for that.
I like tuna.
I'm about to eat tuna right now.
Is it yellowfin?
No.
I've never
No,
been,
it is not.
I have never been more turned off by a Champions Dinner.
This is really getting to you. I can tell you are.
It's not my deal. You're the champ.
All right, let's go to the main course because that was the first course.
What was the yellowfin tuna? Was it like a tartare or just yellowfin tuna?
It says
Okay.
toasted baguette with chives.
I'll research.
Oh, it's a toasted. Oh, yeah. Sign me up for that.
Okay.
Bread and tuna?
All right, here we go. Here's the main course.
I'm good. I'm sold.
How about a Wagyu filet mignon?
There you go, Rory.
Okay.
Or you can have seared salmon.
No, I want the steak.
You can have traditional Irish champ. Are you familiar with Irish champ?
No, what is that?
Irish champ is a traditional dish of creamy mashed potatoes mixed with chopped scallions.
Okay.
You like
I'm
that?
fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the other option, though? Mac and cheese?
Glazed carrots
No.
with
Those
brown butter.
Those are also good.
Or Vidalia onion rings.
All right, I'll go with that. The Wagyu.
Yeah.
What is Vidalia?
It's an onion.
Onion.
Sweet onion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I like onion rings.
I got a song I want
Give
you
it
to
a
hear. We'll play it coming back. Go ahead.
Now let's move on to the dessert.
I thought we've already had dessert. That's how we started the meal.
No.
That was
the bread and the honey.
flatbread.
Yeah.
Peach bread and
Peach and ricotta flatbread.
dates
with,
and hot honey that
Yeah.
Conrad pointed out he absolutely adores.
Hot honey's really good on everything. Just about.
All right, here goes Rory for dessert. He has requested and will be serving sticky toffee pudding.
Probably gonna pass on that one.
It will come with vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce.
I just want the ice cream.
I'll probably try it. Not big on toffee though.
I'll eat the ice cream.
Is toffee bad for your teeth? That's taffy.
Yeah.
Very different.
A little bit different.
Both sweet, but very different.
I'll stay in my lane, let you guys comment on the desserts.
There is a lot of French champagne and wine that I am not going to attempt to try to say the names of.
Oh, but it'd be so fun if you did, Pat.
No. No thanks.
I assume we're not going with a Sauvignon Blanc here.
A Batard Montrachet.
It's pretty good.
Yep, that's on there.
It's pretty good.
There's
Cool.
a couple of different versions of that. 2022, matter of fact.
Ooh.
Ooh, I need it aged.
They got a 1989 Chateau something or another.
Now we're talking. I need to be older than me.
So I got a 1989, 1990, 2022, 2015.
Okay, I got 2 options. Okay.
Les Masniers sur Auger.
No, it's okay. Yeah, money.
So Landrum, so you're on your phone, like finding out where the nearest Five Guys is? Is that what you're doing?
There's a place that's got ton of different wings, like hundreds of different flavors of wings that used to be right nearby.
By Augusta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be doing that too. Or I'd just be asking for 2 steaks.
And you also have
Can you
the
do that?
Country Club, which is a bar with a mechanical bull that I rode.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I've heard of more. You had me in the first half. It got a little better as it went on, but yeah, I mean that's not.
Molly has some explanations
Maybe not
of
the
why
greatest
what I just read you,
spread.
why it's on the actual menu.
So Rory literally goes through and breaks down every single part of this menu. For the peach and ricotta flatbread, I wanted to try to bring a little bit of local ingredients in. So I'm doing a Georgia peach and a ricotta flatbread with hot honey. So hopefully that goes well together with the drinks. For the rock shrimp tempura, I think everyone likes rock shrimp tempura. So sort of a crowd pleaser. I
Okay?
like it. Straight to the point. For the bacon wrapped dates, my mom does these really, really nice dates with stuffed goat cheese.
Does that mean
wrapped
that
in
his
bacon.
mom is doing it?
I don't know. But he just says,
Be a
thanks
nice
to
touch.
Rosie for that one.
What about the elk sliders?
In the build up to the Masters last year, I was eating a lot of elk. I didn't want elk to be the main course because I don't know if everyone would like that. So I'm doing grilled elk sliders, which I think is fun.
I definitely misheard when you read that, and I thought it was eel sliders.
All right, what about the yellowfin
Very
tuna
bizarre.
that Conrad is salivating over?
So it's a yellowfin tuna carpaccio. My wife, Erica, and I, our favorite restaurant, or one of our favorites right now, is in New York called Le Bernardin, I believe. Eric Repair is the chef there, and this dish is from that restaurant. It's a yellowfin tuna carpaccio. It's really thin sliced with a French baguette, sort of thin, a faux gras on top of that.
Foie gras.
Foie gras, yeah. So that's a fun one that the club worked with me on. They went up to the restaurant and worked with the chefs to make sure that they obviously wanted to get it right for the night, so that's really cool. So they went up to New York to work with the chef at this restaurant to get the meal right.
I was just comparing when you were reading off Rory's menu
To Bubba Watson's?
No, to Scotty Scheffler. I'll just give you Scotty Scheffler's from last year. We start with the appetizers. Cheeseburger sliders, served Scotty style.
Yep.
Firecracker shrimp with the sweet Thai chili and the sriracha mayo. Papa Chef's meatball and ravioli bites with pecorino
Oh, yeah.
cheese, tomato basil sauce. The first course, a Texas-style chili, cheddar cheese, jalapenos, and corn chips. The main course, wood-fired cowboy ribeye. Or you want to go with a black and redfish, family-style macaroni and cheese, jalapeno cream corn, soy-glazed Brussels sprouts, chipotle lime roasted sweet potatoes. And for dessert, for all of you dessert folks, he had a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie with vanilla ice cream.
Oh, see,
So
all that sounds
more,
great.
That's
besides the
more
Brussels
of my
sprouts.
champion's dinner
That sounds really good.
palette.
I think Rory sounds good too. I
So
would
what
try
was
everything.
Rory's-
No, his is different.
What's his
Yeah.
reasoning behind the,
Wagyu.
yeah.
For the Wagyu and the salmon, he says, I want, like, it's an honor to host, but at the same time, I want everyone to enjoy it. So I went for 2 different options. Obviously, the filet for people that want red meat, and then the seared salmon. So it just depends on what you want.
What was the foie gras thing that Landrum was talking about?
That was-
Do we know what that is? For the tuna, I don't know what that is. Is that like a topping, I guess?
It's like a,
No, it's a dish. It's a liver.
yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And finally, the dessert. Rationale behind his.
He says, I think it's a crowd pleaser. Sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream with warm toffee sauce. That's all he says.
That is the menu that Rory McIlroy is serving. I think it was April 7th. I think that's right. Something like that. So, yeah. Always a crowd pleaser. Listening to what Scheffner had last year and what Rory is doing this year. Pretty pretty interesting to say the very least.
It is. It's going to be pretty interesting. Starting tomorrow, we officially kick off the big tournament, tip off the big tournament, and you can join our friends at the Finnick, 1630 2nd Avenue South. They're going to open the doors early just for you basketball fans. You get the first round action. The door's going to open right there around lunchtime. All the games on all the big screens, including the giant projector screens, the wall screens. You can bring your bracket, grab some great food, catch every buzzer beater with the Finnick. Whether you're sneaking away from the office, making it a full day of hoops, the Finnick is the place to watch the madness unfold. Again, the Finnick starting tomorrow. For the early games, you can enjoy all of the madness there at the Finnick, 1630 2nd Avenue South, and I will see you there.
When we come back on Three Man Front, how much did your favorite school spend on basketball? Yes, not this year, but last year when Florida won the national championship. Where does Auburn and Alabama rank from last year's team, including Auburn making the Final Four? We've got numbers to back it up. We'll tell you that next on Three Man Front. Some interesting numbers have been made public by Matt Brown, who is a college football analytics guy. He went and dove down into last year's numbers when it comes to college basketball. Some of those numbers may surprise you. We'll tell you where Auburn and Alabama fell in last year coming up in just a moment.
I'm scared now.
What?
There's something afoot. I don't know what it is, but there's something. I don't know. I
having
don't.
a conversation.
No, I do not have a good feeling, and I can't explain it. But I just have a gut feeling that
So paranoid.
something is not.
Why are you paranoid?
Mark that. You said gut feeling. Mark that. Mark that.
Okay, I will. Well, hopefully your gut feeling will help you fill out your NCAA tournament bracket, because the $1 Million Bracket Challenge is back here on Jocks 94.5 thanks to our friends at Twin Peaks. Pick a perfect bracket and win $1 million. Hit 60 games correctly and win $10,000. The top local bracket is going to win a $250 Twin Peaks gift card and a Stardome couples package. The deadline to enter, this is important, the deadline tomorrow a.m. 10:59 over at jocksfm.com, and we'll be broadcasting live tomorrow and Friday from Twin Peaks in Hoover.
Okay, so as I mentioned, Matt Brown was able to go back because of the Freedom of Information Act, in which you can request certain numbers to public institutions of how much these universities spend on certain things. And so he wanted to do a look back to the last season in regards to how much colleges spent on basketball, on their basketball program. So last year, Indiana University spent more money on their basketball program than any other school in America. They spent $32 million on basketball, and we know how that turned out for Indiana last year. Number 2 was the University of Tennessee. They spent $23 million. So think about that. So Indiana spent $9 million more officially on the books than the University of Tennessee. And University of Tennessee was number 2.
This money would have paid for last year's.
Correct. Yeah, this is like last year, Florida won the national championship. Auburn made the Final Four.
Yeah.
Those are the teams that this money went to supporting.
Yeah.
Okay. Indiana was 1, Tennessee was 2, Arizona 3, Texas 4. Texas spent $22.4 million last year. UConn was 5th.
Wow.
Arkansas 6, Michigan State 7, Kentucky was 8. Auburn last year came in as the 9th most spending program in America for their basketball team, $20.5 million, only $200,000 less than Kentucky spent last year.
So this is counting programs. So this is all your assistants, your staff,
Everything. This is on the basketball bottom line. Auburn spent a grand total of $20.5 million. Next was Louisville, Kansas, Illinois. This is the number that really shocked me. Coming in at number 13, Ole Miss.
Wow.
Ole Miss made the Sweet 16, if you remember last year. They spent $18.2 million on basketball last year.
So Beard gets that job and he says, this is what I'm going to need.
$18.2 million last year for them. Mick Cronin's UCLA was behind. Think about that. UCLA was behind Ole Miss in their spending last year for basketball.
To be fair, Pat, jet fuel.
Correct. I guess so. Next was North Carolina. So again, Ole Miss is spending more money last year in basketball than the University of North Carolina was spending. Virginia comes in behind that. Texas Tech, Rutgers spend $16 million. Next at number 19 is the University of Minnesota.
What?
Next on the list, Alabama. Alabama was the 20th biggest spender in college basketball last year. They spent $15.2 million on their basketball program. Right behind them, very close, nipping at their heels, was Florida State.
Where was Florida in all of this?
I am still looking down the list, my friend.
Talk about bang for your buck.
Nebraska
Nice
spent
ROI.
$13.4 million.
I don't know what Walter Clayton Jr.'s NIL was coming out of Iona, but those kind of players, you get that ROI. You're still scrolling for Florida?
Yeah, I was hitting some other of these. Like LSU spent $11.1 million.
On what?
Mississippi State spent $12.2 million.
They made the tournament.
At the very bottom, they list these schools that would not provide, even with a freedom of information. Alabama State, Alcorn State, Georgia Tech,
St. John's,
Florida, UNC Asheville, UC Santa Barbara, UT Chattanooga, Tennessee State. Those are the schools that freedom of information, they could not get access to. And we all know that Florida is going to be right up there, one of the top. But it was just interesting. Auburn, 9th most, Bama, 20th.